Hi everyone, welcome to the Scrum Webinar Series. I'm so glad you're here. I'm Aditi Agarwal. I'm a senior Scrum Master and a published author. Thank you for taking time out to watch this webinar today. The views in this webinar are mine alone and do not represent the views of my organization. All right, let's dive in. In this webinar, we are going to compare between the traditional plan-driven waterfall approach and Agile Scrum. The first key difference is the waterfall encourages conformance to processes and tools, while Scrum encourages people interactions. In waterfall method, the objective is to follow a sequential set of steps to achieve similar expected result every time. Waterfall is best suited for simple projects where solution is predictable. However, with Scrum, the work is complex and unique in nature. Here we don't expect to achieve same results each time. Thus, Scrum encourages collaboration, new ideas, research, and experimentation to develop a unique product. Number 2, waterfall approach requires extensive documentation during each phase of the project. In define phase, you need a project charter. In analyze phase, you need a requirements document. In design phase, you need a design report, and so on. Scrum, on the other hand, the most important deliverable is working software, or the product increment that is produced at the end of every sprint. With that said, it is not like Scrum does not need any documentation at all. Some organizations do require minimal documentation, such as Agile Charter or release plans. With Scrum, though the need for documentation is not eliminated, it only requires minimal just-in-time documentation. Number 3, waterfall approach encourages conformance to approved documentation and restricts new ideas that may come later during the project. During build phase, when a developer or an architect realizes that the approved design is incorrect, he or she will need to align with the business to open a change request and then rework on the design documentation. Similarly, during test phase, if a defect fix requires a design change, the team has to assess the impact of the change request and then plan the rework for the design, build, and test phases. However, Scrum encourages experimentation and creativity. With Scrum approach, the product owner can reprioritize the user stories in the product backlog at any time. 4. In waterfall or traditional method, contract negotiation takes place right from the initiation or define phase. The project sponsor or the business partner negotiates the high-level schedule and cost with the project delivery team. Later, the requirements document binds the scope both for the business and the development team. With Scrum, there is no room for a contract. Scrum is built on collaboration with customer. Team works hand in hand with the product owner. Product owner attends all Scrum ceremonies, including the daily Scrum, and works very closely with the development team. 5. Waterfall leads to mismatch between customers' needs and the final product. In waterfall or traditional project management, architects design the system interactions, developers build the code, and a separate team executes detailed functional and non-functional testing on the code to validate the code against the documented requirements. This usually leads to mismatch between what the architects have designed as compared to what was built and finally what gets tested. In Scrum, the development team performs all these functions like analyze, design, build, and test within each sprint. The team is working very closely together with the product owner as one cohesive unit. This eliminates any gap between the initial business needs and the final product. 6. Waterfall encourages upfront planning. Project charter, detailed project plan, business needs, requirements document are all created upfront. Scrum, on the other hand, encourages just-in-time planning. With Scrum, we recognize that we can't get all the requirements and plans right upfront. Scrum is based on iterative and incremental development. Iterative development assumes that some rework and improvement is required to make things right. With just-in-time planning, only the prioritized stories are refined such that they are ready to be picked up in the subsequent sprint. 7. Waterfall encourages upfront decisions. Requirements are written and detailed upfront, dependencies are identified upfront, design is aligned and approved upfront, even the UX screens are defined upfront. With Scrum, decisions wait till the last responsible moment, often called LRM. In Scrum, we believe that we have the least information at the start of the effort, and that we learn from our experiences and should not make important decisions until the last responsible moment. This is a strategy of not making a premature decision, delaying commitment, and keeping the options open until the cost of not making a decision becomes greater than the cost of making a decision. 8. Waterfall promotes conformance to a project plan. All stakeholders, business partners, project team, and leadership, they stick to the project plan to look for dependencies, milestones, and important dates. Scrum, on the other hand, embraces change. A product owner has the flexibility to reprioritize the user stories in the product backlog at any time. 9. Waterfall leads to a demotivated team. With traditional plan-driven development, the team delivers their work only at the end of the project. The long duration of the project makes it very difficult for the team to stay focused and interested in their efforts. Scrum, on the other hand, is all about high-performing, self-organizing, and a motivated team. Scrum enables the team to deliver value and a product increment at the end of every sprint, which gives them a feeling of being accomplished throughout the effort. 10. In Waterfall, customer feedback is received only at the time of user acceptance testing. Any changes requested at the time of UAT results in a new change request and leads to a lot of rework. Whereas Scrum promotes fast and frequent customer feedback. Sprint review ceremony at the end of every sprint allows feedback to be received from the key stakeholders. With this, I have covered the core differences between Waterfall and Scrum. I hope you enjoyed the webinar. If you would like to watch other episodes of this webinar series, subscribe to my YouTube channel, Agile Scrum, or visit my website, author.adityagarwal.com. Read my book, The Basics of Scrum, to get an in-depth knowledge on Scrum framework. This book is available at Amazon in ebook, paperback, and audiobook versions. Thank you all for joining me in this webinar today. Signing off for now. Thank you. Stay inspired, keep reading. Bye.